Well, I can now definitely say we have the foundations for a film called Annabelle versus this crazy bitch doll.
Here we go! This night, you're gonna find that nightmares do come true. We will find you. Trick or treat. This night, you're gonna find that people.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to 31 Days of Horror, Year 3. This is Day 13. I am Morgan Film Fan. Let's jump into some scares. Dolly, Dearest from Vinegar Syndrome, released in 1991, is a killer doll film I recently picked up for specifically 31 Days of Horror, actually. Starring a slew of people, including Denise Crosby, famous for being in the original Pet Sematary from 1989. And, yeah, female killer doll film. What else can you say? Quite a bit, actually. Synopsis-wise, basically you have this family where this dad is basically a toy producer, and he has a contract in Mexico to produce this basically like franchise, you could say, of dolls called Dolly, Dearest. And he moves with his family to Mexico to produce these dolls. Film starts off actually with an archaeologist exploring Mayan tombs in Mexico. And right at the beginning of the film, he's digging up through this tomb, and he ends up releasing a curse, which obviously looks extremely cheesy with the early 90s CGI effects. But this curse is released and starts kind of making its way all throughout the area, and then the film goes on with the family moving down to Mexico. So you have this little girl who the father ends up giving her one of the dolls, and she falls in love with it, and it becomes her companion in an area where she basically doesn't know anybody and has no friends. And weird stuff obviously starts to happen involving this doll being, obviously it starts talking to her, and this little girl starts to go quite crazy, especially with the maid that works in the house, the Mexican maid who's extremely religious and always, bringing over a priest to bless the house for this new family, and praying a lot and praying to spirits a lot. And the little girl, every time she's around, like there's a scene involving the priest when the priest is blessing the house, where the little girl completely freaks out and just starts screaming and yelling. And it's like, little girl's a pretty good actress. I mean, she's very believable in how fearful she is anytime this maid is around, and anytime there's any kind of religious symbolism. But basically, where this curse comes from is this ancient civilization called the Sanzia, which translates to Satan on Earth. And as the film progresses, it starts to reveal some of the history of this civilization and this, I guess you could say, cult. And they believed in creating basically a devil child with the body of an infant and the head of a goat. And this curse can basically live in it can take over or possess any human, or in this case dolls. And that's what it does. It possesses this franchise of dolls that this dad has in his factory, where he's producing it in Mexico. And so you do have multiple dolls, which is nice. It's a nice touch to the film. And yeah, basically towards the third act, you start to get all the reveals about this ancient cult, basically, and more information on the curse, and it just goes from there. And the mom starts to investigate in what's going on with her daughter, and that's basically your plot of the film. My thoughts: I really loved it. It's it's played out seriously, and it can definitely be creepy at times, but it's also funny and campy as hell. Certainly a B movie at heart, for sure, and a lot of fun. Like I said, the little girl has basically a dollhouse in her backyard. But this dollhouse for a dollhouse is huge. I mean, it's basically like she you can consider her spoiled for having this. Like it's this dollhouse that she can walk into, and obviously like her and this doll of hers hang out in this backyard dollhouse all the time. You know, having their little tea parties and stuff, and yeah, so there's that. I mean, I thought the dollhouse looked pretty cool for a little girl having, you know, something like that to play in. She during the movie she starts to like draw like really weird pictures of like the Mayans and symbolism and stuff like that, and that's where she starts to go a little bit crazy. And like I said, when she starts to really fully blown go possessed mode, she does a really good job. And the doll too. Like when the doll goes into full form, she's creepy, man. She's got like the old looking face and the wrinkles and the peeling and stuff like that, and just her like evil smile and smirk. It's terrifying, man. Terrifying. There's some unrealism, like actually a lot of unrealism to where the doll ends up places. Like it kind of seems like she teleports. There is scenes where it's clear that, you know, obviously she can't be in one place and just appear at the other. It's like, how the hell did she get here? But you can forgive those things because of what the film is. Like, it's not, you know, a huge deal. There's a really, really great electrocution kill, which I will just leave at that for no spoilers. But the kills are really nice in this film. It's just too bad that there's not enough of them, I will say that. I wish there was more. But for what you do get, they're done really well. They're done... they're mean spirited. They're done with good gore, good cringe worthy effects, and really they do a good job on it. There's this character about midway through the film named Lewis. He's hilarious. Just his whole scene that they played out with him. He's in the factory and he's talking to the doll as if it's like a girl that he's met. He's like, "Hey, you're so beautiful. Let me take you. Want to come meet me in my room tonight?" And then he's just, I don't know. This character is just goofy as hell. He's like, "Oh, you just like all women." He's doing like the Mexican accent and stuff. You know, all women are the same. You know, you just got a big head. All women have big heads. It's just, he was hilarious. He killed me. He was funny, but you know, obviously he starts calling the doll ugly, and you can only imagine what happens after that. There's a classic punchline right at the end from the son, and the son is awesome too. He's the nerdy kid of the 90s who's super confident, so he's acting cool all the time. You know, that kid that looks nerdy but acts cool, he's that guy. So he's like the 7th grade kid, and when the doll is in full-fledged killer doll mode, she's like, play with me, and of course he grabs a shotgun and he's like, "Play with this, bitch." It's awesome. And yeah, there's also a scene in the factory with like an unfinished doll head, and it has this like demon tongue that comes out of it. I found that pretty cool too. But that's about it. I mean, as I mentioned in the beginning, one hell of a battle between like Chucky, Annabelle, and this doll would be pretty cool to see in a film. Now, I doubt that would ever happen, but if you can imagine something like that, I think that would be pretty kick-ass, if you ask me. I mean, like, going back to the doll, too. The doll, this isn't even her in her full-fledged form. I don't want to burn the friggin' thing, but, yeah. Cool stuff. I mean, they actually at least made the doll look genuinely creepy instead of just goofy like they sometimes do in killer doll films. This one generally, throughout the film, even before full-fledged mode, looks creepy already. But when it gets to the full-fledged mode, it's just terrifying. I don't want to be anywhere near that thing. So I'm going to come in at this one at 70 out of 100. Why out of 100? Because I hate decimals. You know I hate decimals. So 70 out of 100, that's my rating for it. Hope you've been enjoying the reviews. There's plenty more coming right up to the 31st. Follow Morgan Film Fan to catch them all. And also, I forgot to mention the director in here is Lease, made in 1991, and I really liked it and I really recommend it. So until next time, cheers and good night.